Good afternoon. It's 2:18 p.m. Seattle time. I live in the Pacific Northwest. I guess we'll just get to the punch. Canadian teen commits suicide after alleged rape, bullying. The family of the teenager who committed suicide after she was allegedly gang raped and bullied is urging Canadian officials to reconsider filing criminal charges. Rita Parsons, a 17-year-old school student from Halifax, Nova Scotia, was taken off life support on Sunday, 3 days after she tried to hang herself. Her family told CNN they met the Canadian justice officials on Wednesday, and the officials assured them they would take a fresh look at filing charges. The teen was bullied for more than a year after the alleged sexual assault, which happened in November 2011. When she was 15, her family said. Authorities confirmed that a photograph allegedly showing Parsons having sex with one of the boys was circulated to friends, mobile phones, and computers. As a result, her family said she developed suicidal thoughts. She also struggled emotionally after the police investigation ended without criminal charges, her mother, Leah Parsons, wrote on her Facebook tribute page. Rite is gone today because the four boys, the thought that raping a 15-year-old girl is okay, and to distribute a photo to ruin her spirit and reputation would be fun, her mother wrote. All the bullying and messaging and harassment that never let up are also to blame. Lastly, the justice system failed her. Those are the people that took the life of my beautiful girl. How to help young rape victims. Disseminating such a picture, even if the sexual encounter was consensual, is considered child pornography under Canadian law. However, a joint investigation by Royal Canadian Mounted Police and local authorities found insufficient evidence to proceed with charges, according to RCMP spokesman Captain Scott McRae. There are factors in determining other than the picture itself. Ages, who sent the material computers, so it's complex, McRae said. We do understand people want the answers, and the big question here is why was it done, or why weren't these charges, and why weren't there charges? We understand that. We're not trying to deflect blame or not be accountable. The Parsons family said they hope their story helps families going through the same pain. Her funeral will be Saturday, her mother said. That would be this Saturday coming up, by the way. Healing process after rape never ends. This is put into CNN, beautifully written. It's part of the story highlights. And written by Paula Newton, CNN. She's a reporter. It was written April 10th, 2013. You can find it in the CNN news. We have a girl who was raped and probably called everything in the book propositioned by other kids, boys, the thought she was easy put. I cannot express enough sympathy to her family. There isn't enough to say anything about losing a child. And there's not enough to say about the crime. I've had a rough life from day one. So this story hit me very hard. I don't like talking about it, but for this one I will. When I was 13 years old, I went to a park known as North Jeffco Park in Jefferson County in the Arvada area. There was one boy who I had a crush on who wanted to simply kiss me. Instead, he invited 14 of his friends. My lack of cooperation and the boy I had a crush on took a rock and hit me upside the head. I was given enough drugs to make me very incoherent and scared. I was taken to a place called Hotline, where people who are overdosed or in trouble went at that time in the 70s, early 70s. I was taken to Denver General Hospital. They did not do a rape kit, but they did give me a pill that was experimental, similar to the morning after pill, only devastating. I almost died from it. The boys were questioned and released because there was a little problem. I took off my own underwear. Charges were dropped. I entered the 7th grade. I was tripped downstairs. It was a 2-level school. I'm going to mention the school, Arvada Junior High. I was called whore, slut, everything. I wanted to die. But worse yet, my parents, my grandparents, did not believe me. It became so bad that I finally said, fine, it was all my fault. The rape never happened. I asked for every bit of it. Like I asked to be molested when I was a kid, too. It was my fault. It was pretty tiny. Fine, Mom, I made it all up. And when I told her again before she died, she says, what am I to believe? You retracted everything. You're lying. Fair enough. A couple years after, in the Arvada local paper, the boy who I had the crush on was arrested for rape, and he used the rock on the side of the girl's head. I showed my mother. She said nothing. This girl's parents are being active, and what these boys did is inhumane, wrong, and to be quite honest with you, they indirectly killed her. Canada does not have the death penalty. In my opinion, they deserve the death penalty. And if that, since it can't happen in Canada, there's such thing as hometown justice. Does vigilantism work? You know, it might. I'm not suggesting that that is what happened. I'm just saying that this crime is horrible. I know. I have PTSD from many assaults. It's not unusual for someone who's been molested to be molested and raped over and over again and to be taken advantage of. Counseling, years of it. Am I over it? No, but I have to distract myself from going into rages or crying. So you, out there, who know who you are, all 14 of you, and if any of you are still alive, remember my face. It's older now, but remember and never forget. To the parents of the girl again, my heart, my heartfelt sympathies, can't talk, and a hug. Oh, I'm so sorry about the way the world ticks. Just ticks wrong.